What up, guys? This is Casey Israel again, and this is Video Game Hunting, episode 21, part 3. Just got up. Actually, I was up earlier. I think I had to use the restroom and take my meds and everything. And then I went to Garguts for at least an hour. I wouldn't doubt it, 2 hours. But, I still wanted to get some more sleep. And, got about an hour ago, give or take. And I decided, hey, I'm gonna do a run. I tried to call my buddy Scott, and he must be working. That sucks. What he does, he doesn't get off for the weekends. So, he's not guaranteed the weekends to be off. So, I'm not going to go super far. Well, that's not true. I'm not going to go to the one that I feel like, I wish I had my friend Scott, because it literally takes an hour to go over there and come back. And I'm not going to have enough materials to say anything to you guys. I mean, at least if it was me and Scott, we could at least play off each other, bounce stuff off between each other. So, yeah, I decided to make a big run, but I want to go to the furthest vintage stock, and then go to places like Claremore, Pryor, maybe Muskogee, Oklahoma. Because Pryor and Muskogee, I barely go. Only went once, and I didn't record it. And I probably won't record it this time either. Not because I don't want to, it's because I'll be using a GPS to get there. I guess I could put GPS and record, but you guys would hearing my freaking GPS going off. And I'm not sure what, like I said before, what kind of materials I'm going to have. At least I know how to get to the stores without having to use GPS. But I'm thinking when I get to the first store, vintage stock, it's unlikely they're actually going to have anything, but once I'm done, I don't have to, okay, I gotta at least hit this vintage stock on the way back. Well, that's not good. This guy's driving around in this, I'd say plow, whole, bucket, and on his track has a torn track. But it's still working, so, but I guarantee you they're gonna have to replace that track soon. It's just flopping around like a busted tire. God. Now you got a excavator, how you pronounce it, in someone's yard. They're working on spanning this road right here, and you have a backhoe going through someone's yard. I was like, I'd be pissed. You know what? And honestly, there's going to be some people I guarantee it's going to be even a bigger nightmare. Instead of just 2 lanes, now it's going to be 4 lanes. And I guarantee it's going to be a bitch for these people to get the fuck out of here. Honestly, I'm heading the old way, kind of, that I used to go my previous job, and gone this way a little bit, or at least going this direction, going away direction, not coming home direction. In a while. Because usually I take other routes to go to these stores. You know what? I'm totally wrong. That is not true at all. So, when I go, well, if I wake up and I want to hit the vintage stocks or the game store, I had to take this way. So, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. So, it just seems like it's been a while since I drove up this way. But, yeah, hopefully I stop at this vintage stock and hopefully got something good. I believe this past week I already hit the flea market, so not really reason to go there right now. I mean, didn't see anything there before. You know, quite honestly, no, I just had an idea. I could do Monday because I don't want to do it today because I'm already traveled quite a bit out of the way. And then I can give it a couple days, maybe something else. But I do have I think 3 or 4 of these Atari ST games that I think that I wanted to, just because maybe in the future. But now, you know what? There's no point of me having these because there's a difference when I got the Odyssey 2, I had, here's a story. Back when I was in Pennsylvania, there was a store called Second and Charles. And on the back end of one of the aisles, they had a bunch of clearance stuff. And what's in clearance, they had a bunch of Magnavox Odyssey 2 games. And at the time, I didn't have the system. But, you know what, all these games, I'm like, fuck, if I pick up a bunch of these games, I'll buy the system, too, eventually. And so, my wife, at the time, she was like, why did you buy games for a system you don't have? I was like, because I'll get the system. Because they're, cheap as hell. I think they're $1 or $2 a piece. Maybe 3 tops. So I would get 10 of them. And I was like, yes! Got my video game fix for the day. So, and I was correct. I actually, at one point, I actually had 2 Magnavox Odyssey 2 systems. I believe I told this. One of them was very much a gift from my mom. She gave me enough money to buy it, or close to enough money to buy it. And also, and then I was happy right there because I had a complete box, Magnavox Odyssey 2. And then one day, I believe I told this story where I was living in Lehigh, Pennsylvania, and there was a flea market, and I believe it's called Sailorsburg or Slayton, just right outside Lehigh. It's one of those two, Slayton or Slaytonburg. I think it's Slayton. But I would go to this flea market every weekend. Didn't matter. I'd go. Sometimes I won't go to a certain section because I know there's nothing new. But I would go. Usually I hit up the kid that's when you come in, you go straight to the right, and there's a set aisle, and just a little bit up and turn right. There's a kid vendor that has a bunch of video games and other stuff. Well, he had not only another complete box, Odyssey 2. He had a bunch of Odyssey 2 games in the boxes. And I think he put it for like $100. Or give or take around there. Yeah, I believe it was $100 for all of it. I'm like, well, I don't want to spend that just to get the games. So I made an offer to the guy and say, hey, I just want to buy the games, not the system, because I already got the system. And he's like, well, I don't want to split them apart because they're uncommon to find. I'm like, yeah, I told him I totally understand it. I was like, told him, hey, if you change your mind, the offer stands. He's like, alright, I'll keep that in mind. It was either the very next week or 2 weeks. He's like, want to do that deal? Like, yeah, I'll do that deal. And we're doing it, and then he's like, screw it, you can have, he pretty much said, screw it, you can have the Odyssey 2. Look, thank you. I think I paid half of that because he knew he was without the games, it was hard to push the system. And I wasn't trying to screw the guy. I'm just looking out, like, I'm looking for stuff that I don't have, and I wanted those boxes because lately I still am box crazy. And I was like, so I wasn't trying to, oh God, what was it? Take advantage of the situation. I just I won just the games. I was like, dude, I'll take half. I want half the price off. What sucked? The kid actually had a Magnavox Odyssey 1 at one point. It's been there for a little bit. So, I believe me and my wife were heading to Oklahoma for vacation. I was like, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna hold out until I get back. I think he had marked at $150 for the system. I was like, it wasn't a bad price. It was just I didn't want to spend that kind of money. And it was like the week before, the week me and my wife going to travel to Oklahoma for vacation. I was like, oh my God, he slashed it in half. If I wasn't traveling anywhere, I immediately would have bought it. But because we were traveling and I didn't want to waste too much money to go up there, because usually in this car, and I believe gas and all the travel expenses, including like a day or two hotel stays, it's like $200 one way. Only, yeah, we would actually save a buttload of money. A lot of times, yeah, we get there faster by plane. Problem is, I think it's like $500 per person round trip. Instead of paying $1,000 for me and my wife traveled to Oklahoma, it was less than a quarter of that. Yeah, it was less than a quarter of the price. It was 20% of that price. Well, eventually it was a little bit more than a third traveling back. But by then I already got paid again, and we had the money to keep going. And when we would travel, oh, by the way, back to the original story. When we got back, and I was like, alright, I got paid again. I went back to that flea market, and of course, because it was half off and it was a rare system, it's gone. I was like, shit. But I couldn't do anything because I couldn't afford to do that. So, it sucked. But maybe in the future, but that was probably the best chance I could have got in Odyssey 1 for less than $100. And actually, at one point, I think I saw a sign, and it was like, it said half off. I was like, holy shit, $40? So I asked the person, like, no, that's excluding that. Like, but it says on everything. I didn't see nothing that says, oh, all except certain items. So I was kind of pissed. It should have been well marked that better than that. But, too bad. You saw what happens when I go start one story and ended up being another story. Because I'm trying to explain certain things, and I like, ooh, I gotta talk about this. And then I continue going this way instead of going telling about the story. Sometimes, so I totally forget what the original premise was. But I'm getting close to the first store. If I find anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop there because, one, I need a drink. My mouth is getting dry. Two, I'm really running out of ideas to talk about. And yeah, a lot of times I'll repeat stories, but sometimes something will trigger saying, oh, because of this, I have to tell the story now. But I could tease a story about something extremely personal, but I don't know if I actually want to talk about it. It's crazy, and it could take the whole traveling from, I might go ahead and do it because I could go to a quick trip, get a drink, and then when I get out, I could do it, and I could talk about. You know, I know some people want to know what happened. And probably the story. How my wife passed. And so if anyone wants to hear about it, I can tell them, oh, just gotta go look at this video so I don't have to repeat the story. Or at least keep repeating the story. It's like, dude, just go watch this so I don't have to repeat the story. So that might not be a bad idea. Because it's crazy. It's completely crazy. Not only how much it sucked losing my wife, but all the shit that was surrounded afterwards. Because it was just wild. All the bullshit that happened afterwards. But I was actually accidentally about to get off a little bit early. I could do it, but then it'd take a little longer. It'd go faster. Going up the street. Come on, dude. Speed up and merge, idiot. Looks like the person's from Minnesota. Oh, sorry. I was just gazing around. I totally forgot recording. Sometimes, you know, where you get... For me, sometimes driving could be a moment of peace and quiet. And sometimes how beautiful the area could be. And I get lost in the view. And then I was like, oh, dude, I'm being recorded. Dar. But, yeah, I'm heading towards the first finish dock. And this one, I swear to God, my girlfriend pretty much cursed this place. I very rarely go to this one. One is because it's further out of my way. Two, I mean, shoot, it took me almost 24 minutes to get over here to one store. Well, and I'm not even there. By the time, it'll probably be like 25, 26. So, yeah, I can travel, but there's reasons where I travel to these ones, but I don't have to travel forever. Two, I swear my girlfriend cursed this place because one day she's like, you never find anything here. I'm like, and she would say, I'm sitting in here because you never find anything in here. And forever, I literally had to grasp straws just to pull something out of this store. Until recently, where, dude, not only I picked up several NES games in their boxes, I just recently picked up a Sega Genesis Model 2 in its box. for like $45. Oh gosh. I'm already getting a little tired. I don't want to change up my game plan. But I also don't want to be here out to 5, 6 o'clock tonight. So, we'll see. This one restaurant says top 10 pizza restaurant. I'm like, okay. I mean, I could try, and I ate some really good pizza, especially being lived up in the north for a while in the northeast. That does really awesome pizza. Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh. Awesome pizza. Mom and pop kind of pizza. And I've agreed with my wife. She's like, oh, that's fake pizza. Even though when like other places, like there's a store called Mazio's, and you got Domino's and Pizza Hut, and all of them, I choose to eat Mazio's, and then right behind that is Domino's. But yeah, lived up in the Northeast for almost a decade. I learned to actually love pizza, real pizza. Well, I'm gonna stop it here. If I find, well, actually, I'll do the story. So thanks for watching.